It was 2002, and I had just graduated my senior year of high school. A lot of my friends were signing up for the military and being prepared for deployment to fight the war in Iraq. I couldn't find any job near my house, so I decided to sign up for the United States Marines to help defend my fellow countrymen overseas. I received a call from a recruiter the same day, and they asked me to come into their local office to fill out the necessary paperwork to begin training. It's been 1 week now since I signed up for the Marines, and I have received the details that I will be sent to the Marine Training Center known as Parris Island, located in South Carolina. 6 months have passed since training, and I'm now stationed in a military compound overseas. We're located 15 miles from the center of Fallujah, but I'm not allowed to say the exact spot as we are constantly defending attacks from the enemy. The battle is fierce. The sounds of gunshots and explosions are around the clock. We have to wear ear protection at all times to avoid any hearing damage that may be caused from the loud explosions. It was a hot, quiet night for once after non-stop fighting for the past 3 weeks. My commander had us on alert stating the enemy might be planning an ambush since they had been fighting the entire day. We needed to have soldiers awake 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to notify the compound of any incoming attacks. It was my turn to watch the compound from a hidden location outside the gates of our compound. I was partnered with another Marine who had just been shipped out here, and it was my duty to show him the ropes. We took turns sleeping and keeping watch. Each one of us got to sleep for 1 hour, and we would wake each other up to take turns. It was around 3 a.m., and all I could hear is the gunshots from the neighboring cities of fellow soldiers in battle. That's when I heard a large amount of footsteps nearing our location. I thought we were being ambushed. I quietly shook my partner awake, and from a deep sleep he woke up scared and said, "What happened? What happened?" I said, "Shh, I hear footsteps in the near distance." We were hiding in a ditch covered with natural shrubs and rocks, and wearing camouflage outfits to avoid being spotted. I could now hear the voices of men speaking in the near distance. We took stance and had our weapons ready to fire in case anybody peeked into our hiding place. I couldn't radio in for help as they would hear me speaking, so I hit the emergency button on my radio to notify the compound that we were in danger and a possible ambush is being set up. The voices went silent and I could no longer hear them. I decided to take a peek over the rock to check what was going on, and that's when I saw it. In a short distance, I could see about 6 enemy soldiers huddled in a circle with an extremely tall man standing in the middle. He must have stood around 7 feet tall. This was no ordinary soldier. He was not wearing the typical enemy outfit and stood in his bare skin, but had no body parts like us normal humans, and he had a rather low glow of light coming off his body. I took cover again and sat there in shock. The realization had come to me that we are not fighting a human enemy. They are using unknown technology or assistance from a superhuman force. At this point, I could hear the trucks of backup exiting the compound, heading to their position to counterattack the ambush. Backup made it in time to our location. Me and my partner threw a pair of smoke grenades and out of our hiding spot and ran for cover behind the large armored vehicle. They rushed us all back to our compound for safety and geared up the troop for battle. All the men were rushing out of bed, putting on their gear with a sense of panic throughout the compound. My commander called me into the office to make a written report of what happened. I explained to the commander what I saw, and he stood staring at me with a blank stare on his face. He had no expression whatsoever. I told him, "We're not fighting a natural force. There is something outside of this compound that has the upper hand on us, and we will not be able to defend against it." My commander, in a loud, angry voice, shouted, "Shut up! You know nothing! You are ordered to stay silent!" At this point I realized my commander knew what I was talking about, and we had no plan to take on this type of enemy. The next morning, a group of CIA agents came into our compound wearing tuxedos with bulletproof vests. They asked for every single detail of what I encountered. They explained to pack my belongings up, and I'll be going with them from now on. I spoke to my commander, and he explained they supersede his authority and I must obey their request. I packed my belongings up and was airlifted out of the compound along with the 4 CIA officers. I had no idea where we were going or what was happening. We arrived at a brand new facility that looked like it had just been built. It was in the valley, surrounded by mountainous scenery, hundreds of miles away from the nearest military compound. I've now signed a form that if I disobey the terms, they have full authority to end my life. All I can say now is, I'm working in a whole new world that nobody has been told about. I don't know if I'll ever be able to tell anyone what's really happening in the war, but the day I'm laying on my deathbed, I will explain the rest of the story.